to my Sunday Frump. Today is a very basic mukbang and I just wanted to get started. I have orange drink. If you know, you know. It's just Kool-Aid. And then I have pasta and weenies, and I put bere on it, and I have I make this when I go fishing. It's just a basic piece of bread with like flavor and hot sauce and stuff on it, but I put pesto on it. And I have this oatmeal. I put cinnamon coconut on it, so it's very basic, but like it's like I have cravings too, right? Everybody does. I don't know, like I just feel so like a fish out of the water without like a formal introduction in the beginning of each show. Consumer standards. And I get asked this all the time when people see me shopping. Cheap thrills, drain assets, toxic trends. And these are 3 key phrases I want you to work on. Aspects of being in the store. You know, you're invited in with an advertisement, you know, because of a commercial, and you're purchasing because of an advertisement or a commercial, and you know, and you're using these products because of an advertisement or a commercial. And I want to be 100% clear and transparent when I say that whatever you're doing in your home is a flex, no matter where you're at. What things expire in time, reasons to buy out, reasons to liquidate, or excuses to buy time. So in talking about toxic trends, I wrote down excuses to buy time, because a lot of times we don't really want to confront real life situations. We want to put them on the back burner, you know, and we want to, you know, follow the toxic trends, because what's easier than being a follower, you know, and not a leader? Because leader would make us the, you know, the alpha, the head, the brains of the operation. This is good. No, I don't promote that here. That's really good. Smoky, it's so good. I want to try the toast. It complements the meal well. So that's toxic trends, but what can they do? Now, reasons to buy out. For example, when you drain your assets on something because you know you're gonna have more later, you know, you're still a consumer, so therefore you're making an impact on the market and economy. With a mega purchase, it's saying it's in demand. And within your own life, I think you are limiting one particular, I'd say, brand. And if that's the case, you know, you need to weigh other options. You need to think more practical and try to find something similar with more broader uses, and actually weigh out the weigh out the price and the difference that it's gonna be. Like, say for example, if you don't buy it out, what if you don't? And and a lot of people talk about hoarding, and a lot of people talk about people who have this addiction to shopping. And that goes along with the toxic trends, because is it cool to stock up? Is it cool to prep? It's never been cool to prep, but is it cool to hunt down every single one of these products from one brand? Is it worth your time to do? You know what I mean? So when you're weighing out the face value of the product, you have to actually weigh in the time it took to accumulate the wealth that you invested in order to get it, as well as the time it took to make the purchase. And essentially just kind of think broader when in terms of making a purchase, period. No matter where you're at in life, you will always gain from making the smarter, wiser decision than making an impulse buy. Reasons to liquidate and cheap thrills. Reasons to liquidate and cheap thrills. Sometimes when you make not so smart purchases, you have to sell everything you own to afford them, to accumulate the wealth in an effort to finish the buy, in order to make a down payment even. So these are not fun things. So when you're doing the shopping, make sure you include that in your thought process, and the toxic trends always flex hard, because your receipt shows all these zeros. Your paycheck should show all these zeros, not your receipt. Remember that. Sellout, a poser, or a beta. People, if you don't look a certain way or live a certain way or have certain material things, you can get called a poser or a beta at any point. But when you let's say somebody is calling you out on it, or trying to shame you, or in your face about how you should have already wanted it, at least, much less not have it on hand, much less not even have it in the works to have bought it, you're gonna get called a poser. A poser is a person who has left the scene in these instances. If you get called a beta, you're a person who won't double down on the lifestyle that is kind of toxic. When you leave a scene where you have to promote toxic traits of societal figures, and you're essentially one less influencer, if you want to call it that, and kind of project, because you're still promoting a toxic trend. So these are called sellouts. A reason why a lot of people like to be mixing with the crowds like that, because it's gonna bring them clout. You know, everybody has a limit, and they want to be, you know, the baddest, you know, in the industry, and look, you know, like the most lavish, spoiled, rotten brat in the street. You know, I do. So I think, you know, you leaving that behind you, it would essentially cause some sort of backlash. It wouldn't cause you a loss though. And so for me, you know, bye, Felicia. Time, resources, and lifestyle. All three very, you know, just everyday topics. But these three things determine what you buy. Like I stated before, what do you have time to buy? What does your bank look like? What how'd you say? What price point are you shopping at for, you know, each product? Purchase power. Purchase power is money invested in greed. Purchase power and greed go together because you have the capacity to own that greed should you choose to, because this power was invested in you. And once you purchase, you have that power, right? That receipt. So I'd say when you're making purchases, somebody already bought resources in order to get you that product. So they already went through that. You're about 3 people down from thinking this up. You're like, but it should be in demand because I want it. But do the people want to keep the same product? Do they want to switch it up? Do they want to make a lower quality product? So you don't know, and it can't be a staple in your household because the purchase power is 3 people down. The way you incorporate things into your lifestyle is gonna show that you are greedy for your own money. Spending your resources wisely is, of course, gonna advise somebody that's trying to take advantage of you to stay away, and therefore they won't, you know, they won't ask you to buy from them. And time, of course, we all love spending our time wisely, our resources wisely, and invest in having extra time. So, you know, your purchase power, if it's of convenience, it's gonna help that. If it's of convenience and 30 minutes away, that's gonna take from you. You know what I mean? So you're giving the last guy a bag. So like the more into it you get, like the more you give, the more you give up, the more you offer as a consumer, you will essentially be at the bottom of the totem pole in the greed spectrum. So you want to control everything. You want to be greedy, and be a Scrooge McDuck for your home. You need to harness all this power that you do have. Keep those receipts, count the money, and know that every time you go to the store, it's a blessing. Recreational entertainment demands mass influence. I wrote this down because I wrote down in the top cheap thrills, and toxic trends, and draining assets. And I think a lot of people are talking right now about recreational entertainment and its influence. But did you know that we don't really talk about it in such a way? We talk about it as a staple in our home, when actually we should be talking about oatmeal and a pound of sugar as a staple in our home. And we don't. Therefore, we're promoting the culture, the hip-hop culture, because who flexes harder and goes broke fastest? The hip-hop culture. And we don't want to be those guys, There's so many role models in pop culture. There's so many role models in the culture. There's so many role models in mainstream. I think that, I would rather look forward to having a conversation with them about money, as loaded as they are, than be a part of something that's cheering on my own demise. So let's try this oatmeal. That cinnamon hits. There's apples in it. It's so warm and good. What this says on the bottom is buying shows interest. When you buy, you're saying, I like your products. I want maybe to buy them again. I want to see what else you have, and I might be interested in your future products, because this purchase makes it important for you to stay in business and continue making this one product. As a business owner, it goes through, and filed in their computer as, in demand, and, sell something else to them, because obviously, it's going to make an impact in their life if they use it. And a lot of Americans don't waste things. Of course, they're going to use them, and everybody is going to see them using them. So they'll try to sell you something else because, you know, when they did sell the other products, somebody bought them, maybe in your area. So it not only happens through you, it happens through somebody else that has maybe experienced positive, how do you say it, positive outcomes from the product. So your W, you know, comes from the product working and serving multi-purposes and being used several times, right? Or at least saving you the trouble. So I wrote down investing money from economy into the culture, into a lifestyle, into recreations. Because, you know, we don't talk about that enough. I think when we buy, we show interest and they push more things at us. When we buy, it shows the demand in the market, and therefore more investors can come and they can, you know, dive into different aspects of our life through advertising and commercials for new products that are of a completely contrasting nature. So it could be, they could be selling a napkin and a pencil tomorrow because you made a purchase and somebody, you know, wants to back their, you know, their growing, you know, success by, you know, the almighty dollar. So yeah, our culture, you know, a lot of people can speculate, but our culture, we have so many parades and fairs and carnivals, and our lifestyle, we, you know, like I fish, there's so many different things like that we do that promote certain lifestyles, you know, like this is work clothes, you know, this is actually disposable wear, you know, so I can take this with me if I need it anywhere I go, work, play, a picnic. So, you know, like I like to be resourceful and have multi-uses in my purchases. I like to make sure that I buy things that work for me, and I'm not wasting any, you know, any of its functionality, because, you know, everything, every last cent is important right now to me. So I wrote recreations because a lot of times we don't realize when we buy, like, say, devices, when we buy you know, activities, or when we make purchases like at a theater, you know, these are recreational. So I wrote down standards of activity, entertainment, recreational, signify status, culture, importance, lifestyle, and healthy living. So we can go back and talk about, you know, the culture, lifestyle, and recreational through what it means to somebody else that's maybe an outsider, outside looking in, maybe somebody that's how do you say, somebody that's not, you know, a member of your community, your neighborhood, or maybe even, you know, part of your household, anybody outside of the home. You know, they're gonna look at you and see purchases, they're gonna look at you and see, and or they're gonna talk to you and hear your impact in the market just by what you say. Also, down to, you know, how you got there, you know, what method of did you take. It's gonna signify something about your you know, economic impact. And a lot of times, you know, say you biked over, you usually bike over because you have a bike and like biking, not because you have to. You know, usually people like biking that buy bikes because, you know, it's not gonna cause them pain and suffering. It's an easy alternative to a car, or, you know, waiting on the bus or a taxi or what have you. So, you know, signifying your status, you know, even taking the bus for some people means you can't afford a driver. Cultural importance, for some people, you know, going to a fair and being a part of that, you know, community, and being a member of, you know, the experience is a cultural heritage event, like, you know, and it's gonna show its importance in the market, because you usually would invest some money not only there at the fair, but, you know, to whatever you bring home with you. Sometimes, you know, you made a big purchase there, or maybe, you know, you made a purchase to get there, you know. Like, say you bought an outfit, that's a symbol of cultural importance. Lifestyle, you know, you bought a boat, you know, like I said, I like fishing. You bought a boat, you go fishing, you know, that's gonna impact the outdoor recreation market. And of course, healthy living. We don't really talk about that much, and I love talking about that because I want to, you know, I want to end the stigma that it's bad to talk about, you know, toxic trends, how to not drain your assets, and how to disavow cheap thrills. Healthy living is key to, you know, maintaining wealth and maintaining your home and resourceful. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll see you guys again soon on my Sunday Front. Bye bye.